All right, everybody. So we are going to be doing the Liberty Scanner overview. It's not going to be too crazy. It's not going to be too long, but I want to show you guys how to operate and use the Liberty Scanner in order to find your own trades. Now, the Liberty Scanner is a product that if you have the HFX package, it's the scanner that you have access to. Most of us signed up with this. So this is the one that most of us have been started to learn on or train from. And this is how it looks when you first log in. It does look a little crowded, especially if you're not used to seeing this, or if you've never actually logged into a scanner before. It can be a little bit confusing and overwhelming just to look at all these things, but I'll try to explain briefly what all the buttons mean so that you can really, again, learn how to trade on your own. So first and foremost, I'm going to start at the top bar, right? So the top bar, it has the strategies, the scanners, and help. So of course, if you click help, it's just going to tell you the IM Academy policies. If you click scanners, it'll open up all the scanners that you have access to. So depending on which add-on you have, which package you have, those will be the ones that are lit up. So maybe if you ever clicked on this and tried to switch to any of these products, they wouldn't work if you actually don't have the add-on. So the harmonic scanner used to come with all of the packages, whether you had FRX or HFX, but now it's just strictly for Forex trading. Vibrata, all of these are Forex products. And as you can see, if you have HFX, you have access to the Liberty scanner, which is why this is highlighted. So if you did have other products and needed to switch between them, maybe to double check something, you could always just do that from here. But since we just have Liberty, we're going to stick with that. And the next thing you want to do is understand that the Liberty scanner is just it's a scanner that is scanning the market, the foreign exchange market in real time, and is tracking the price. So depending on how often you're looking at the market, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, sometimes I know when you're on live sessions, we'll say M5, M15. That's going to tell you how often this market is actually being scanned and updated for trade ideas. What is price doing, right? What is price doing? So first and foremost, I'll start with the simple scalper strategy. When you first load up your Liberty scanner, the first thing that you're going to see is the web swinger, which looks like this. And if this is the strategy that you prefer, it's like by all means go for it. But if you don't like this strategy, that's okay too, because you have options. So I'm just going to start with simple scalper, the first one, just because it's literally the first strategy. And I'm just going to work my way down them so that y'all understand everything that's on the Liberty scanner. So basically we got the strategies, the scanners, your help. Once you come down the level, well, actually there's more stuff up here too. If you're going to be using your Liberty scanner for Forex trade, you actually could take advantage of these features up here too. This, of course, will be how you choose your country. And then you have your calculator, which really, really, really helps you calculate those trades if you're doing Forex trades, right? So let's just say in my Forex account, I had $150. And let's just say I wanted to, I believe, risk no more than 10%. I wanted to risk no more than 10% of my account for the day, right? I'm putting in what my account size is. I'm putting in how much I want to risk or how much I don't want to risk. And it's telling me $15, right? Is how much I can risk for the entire day. So based on whatever your account size is, if you had a $1,500 account size, it's telling you that you can risk up to $150, which is what I love. Now, let's just say our entry point on AUDJPY, I'm going to go for it as an example. I just need to get into a trade. So AUDJPY. So let's just say our entry point for AUDJPY was 81, and this is just where the market is right now, 81.303, right? And my stop loss is 81.503, right? You would put all this stuff, and I wanted my lot size to be, calculate. So pretty much, it's actually going to give you a recommendation based on whatever your account information is. It's going to tell you how much you can risk per trade if you're doing Forex trades so that you're not over leveraging. Because I know a lot of people, they don't know how to read this. So let's just say you have a $50 account. You don't want to risk more than $10. You can risk up to $5 for the day. And it's telling you that you should not, with a $50 account, you should not be risking more than 0.03 per trade, right? If that makes sense so far, guys, and you guys understand the lot size and risk calculator, just drop a MS in the chat, right? Because this is for Forex trading, but I want to go over all these features and everything you have access to. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Especially As we transition from HFX to Forex trades, this will be extremely helpful because people do have small accounts. But as you grow your account, let's say we got our account up to $200, we only want to risk 10%. This is our entry point. This is our stop loss. Calculate. All right, now we can up it, right? We can up it. So if you are ever confused about what your lot size should be based on what your account is, how much you should risk, how much you want to risk, you can come in here and use the calculator, right? So now we're going to move down the line. And on the next line, we're going to see our currency pair or whatever is being analyzed, the time frame, the candles, indicators, and everything like that. But we're going to actually physically choose the currency pair that we want to look at after we check our news and after we check our currency strength, but it doesn't come defaulted. On the right panel, and this is something that I rarely ever use, but this is the alert panel, and the alert panel actually sends you trade ideas as well. So you, of course, if you're going to use the alert panel, you can use your, change it to the time frame, which is M5. You can see if any trade ideas came out in the last 5 minutes that maybe you could take. So we see that AUD CAD, it was going for a sell about 3 minutes ago. So as you have your demo account, you could always test it out, right? You can always say, is this trade idea from the panel still valid? So we see that it's AUD CAD for a sell. Let's check it out. Now, you don't ever just want to come in here and get into a trade, but this is how you would use the alert panel. You would see how long ago, AUDCAD, you would see how long ago a trade idea was dropped and then see for yourself if it's still valid based on the confirmation. So let's say AUDCAD sell. Let's see if we get in for a sell right now, right? Took a little 1 minute trade, or you can even take a 3 minute trade. And let's just see what happens. And again, this is why you use your demo, because you want to test out and see what's going on. Are the things I'm looking at actually accurate and correct? So as you guys can see right now, we currently are in profit. We did get this trade idea from the alert panel, and then it went instantly into profit because although the trade was called about 3 minutes ago, it looks like the market is still going in that direction, right? So that's how you would actually use the alert panel. You would put it on the time frame that you're comfortable analyzing with. You guys see I just chose M5 instead of the hour, which it defaults to. And I took this trade idea and I actually cleared my trade, right? So if that makes sense, how you can use the alert panel to clear, just drop another MS in the chat. And I'm going to be looking for the responses under Tabriana, right? Because there's so many resources that we have that's going to actually help you become a better trader faster than you think that you can, when you really just, it's basic stuff. It's very, very, very basic. Okay, cool. Thank you, Sean, Roy, Margaret, Jackie, Andrea. Thank you. Cool. So that's another great feature about the Liberty Scanner. As we can see, you can test this one out as well. Well, that one was a while ago, right? Let's just refresh it and see if anything else come out. Oh, look at this, y'all. Another trade idea came up. We got 2 trade ideas. One for NZD CAD and one for GBP CAD. So let's just test it out and see if that's actually true. So we have NZD CAD, which I don't see. Let me type it in. So we don't have NZD CAD is available right now, but we do have another trade idea at GBP CAD. Wow, they're not showing up, y'all, but we did just get trade ideas for those. All right, cool. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Now, I don't want you to be dependent on the alert panel. You always want to check how long ago, right? It says time ago, a few seconds. So of course, if that trade was valid and we could find a pair, you could just take the trade. Now, in addition to the things that are preset on the scanner, like the actual strategies themselves, the alert panel, you have the strategies, which are different sets of indicators telling you more about the price. You're welcome. You have different sets of indicators that are telling you more about the price. So I'm going to break down what we're actually looking at when we're looking at Simple Scalper. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the indicators, and then we can just decide from there where we're going to go, right? So I'm going to give you guys 2 examples. Like, I really just want to highlight what a buy will look like and what a sell will look like in perfect terms, because if you see this setup, you know that it's a really great idea. So the Simple Scalper strategy comes with about 1, 2, 3, 4. It comes with 6 indicators. And we know that we want to get at least 3 to 4 confirmations, or we need to have at least 3 or 4 indicators on our chart to even get a thorough analysis of what's going on in the market. So let's look at this current candle. Let me delete that bullseye. And let's see what's happening. So the 6 indicators on the Liberty scanner are going to be, and you guys can write this down. This purple line right here is called the EMA, and we can zoom out. Now the EMA, it stands for exponential, and I'll write this on the screen as well. It stands for exponential moving average. And let me make it purple if I can. Right? And this is literally, and I'm gonna try to put the indicators next to the things that they are. So pretty much this exponential moving average is telling us the average place, right, of where price was at that time. So if you see candles falling above this line, it's telling you like, wow, price is actually really high right now and it has the potential to keep going up. If you see the candles for the most part are falling under this line, is letting you know that the average price is really low right now. So the way you use this indicator, you really wouldn't want to focus on what's happening now. You want to zoom out and see what the trend is. Now, if we zoom out and we look at our exponential moving average, our EMA, are most of the candles falling above this line or under this line? Right, both the candles are falling under this line. So that's telling us that even though under this line, we do see some blue candles, we do see some really big push-ups, we do see some support coming from those buyers. For the most part, this is a selling market. Would you guys agree? Based on our moving average, this is for the most part a selling market. All right, good. So that's how you use that indicator. So right off the rip, before we even dive into anything else, we know that we have a higher chance at clearing a sell than if we actually were to clear a buy. And this is a theory I was teaching earlier where I was saying after every confirmation you get, test it out in the market. So we got the confirmation from the alert panel. We just got the confirmation from the EMA telling us that this market is selling. Oh, I got in for a 3-minute trade. I wanted it to be 1 minute. We just got the confirmation telling us that the market is selling. So if I take a sell, I just want to test it out to see if I'm going to be in profit or not. But as you guys can see, based on one, the first indicator that we had, and two, the second indicator that we had, this market looks like it may continue to sell, right? And it's going in our favor. Now, I don't want you guys to jump into your live account right away after you get these confirmations, but after every confirmation you see, I want you to come back and test it out, right? So as you guys can see, my 3-minute sell is in profit and my 1-minute sell is in profit simply off of the fact that we know that this market is way below the trend and it's been that way for a minute, right? If that makes sense, y'all, drop an MS in the chat, right? Because we have 15 seconds left, right? We have 15 seconds left on our 1-minute trade and it's looking like it's going to clear. It's very close, but it's looking like a clear. And we have 2 minutes left on our 3-minute trades and it's also looking like it's going to clear. And mind you, a lot of people spend a lot of time obsessing about entry points and all these things, but it's not really about an entry point as much as you understanding what's going on in the market, right? So we're going to let our 3-minute trade right out, but it's looked like that one is going to clear as well. And as you guys can see so far in this training, right, we are 1, 2, and we're about to be 3 and 0. Now, did you guys take any of the trades on your demo and get in when I got in, or are you just watching for now? Just let me know if you guys are taking the trades as well. All right, just watching. Okay, good. But I hope it's really making sense so that you guys can go back and duplicate these things. And yes, I know this currency pair is only 50% payout right now. So good stuff, y'all. So that's the first indicator. Now remember, we're going to go through 6 indicators. Now, if understanding these indicators can help us find entry points and we're getting in off of one indicator, right? I don't recommend doing that. I just want you to test it out so you can see how it works. And we're getting in and clearing off of one indicator. Imagine what could happen once you actually have 4, 5, or 6 indicators, right? That's just really increasing your chances. And it's also a part of proper risk management, right? Proper risk management is not just lowering your amount that you get into a trade. Proper risk management is knowing how to increase your risk when trading. If you want your alert panel to show the current trades, you just have to refresh it. Just like any other program, you just constantly, whenever I switch screens, whether I'm going to my live charts, whether I'm going to my Forex Factory, I'm always going to refresh it because it doesn't refresh automatically for the most part sometimes. Only the newer scanners do, but not the Liberty scanner. So, all right, y'all. This 3 minute, you're welcome. AUDCAD is also looking like a clear. If this was your live account, you would have just made $450 in 3 minutes, right? Simply off of being patient and understanding what you're looking at, right? So we good with the EMA and we understand how we can use that as an indication to where the market is at. So if we're good on the EMA and I can move on to the Bollinger Bands, right? Just drop EMA in the chat if you guys are good with that and I can move on to the next one. Okay, good. So the next indicator, oh, that's not even the same, y'all. So the next indicator that we're actually going to be looking at is, sorry, let me go to the right pair. This is not the right pair, y'all. It still worked though. AUDCAD M5. Okay, cool. So now we on AUDCAD, we're on the right pair. So the next indicator that we're going to go over is the Bollinger Bands. And the Bollinger Bands are an indicator that you're going to find on multiple different strategies. You'll actually find several indicators like the Bollinger Bands. On Pickpocket, it's called the Super Trend Line. And yeah, the Bollinger Bands are, let me see if I can make this a little thicker. Let me see if I can do that. All right. 1 second, y'all. All right, so I had to make the Bollinger Bands a little thicker so we can see it. Now, the Bollinger Bands are an indicator I really like. Is one of the first indicators that I learned to use because the way it was taught, it just made it make so much sense. Now, I don't have to zoom out too far, but I will zoom out a little bit further just to show y'all how the Bollinger Bands really work and how you can use this as an indication. So let's just focus on this current candle and let's learn what we learned about the EMA first to see how we know that AUD-CAD is going to continue to sell. So first and foremost, whenever you see a red candle, you already know that that's going to be for a sell. Not only do we see a red candle, which is telling us that, okay, cool, this market is going down, we also see that the candle is above the EMA. Now, because I'm teaching the EMA now, I do want you guys to do take the extra step and always just zoom out and see if the candles are above or below the EMA, because that's going to be that sometimes that's the extra confirmation you need. So we see it's a red candle. We still focusing on this one. We see it's below the EMA. That's 2 confirmations for a sell. And not only that, we see that this red candle is getting mighty close to the top Bollinger Band. Now, anytime you see candles between 2 lines, whether they're preset or whether you add those lines, your top line is always going to be your resistance or a place where you can sell. And the bottom line is always going to be your support or a place when you can buy. Now, the candles typically don't go outside of those lines. If I really zoom out, you're going to see that 90% of what happens in the market is happening between those 2 lines. Even if you have a situation like this where the candles are surfing the Bollinger Bands, they rarely ever go outside. And when they do go outside, you can almost be like 100% sure that a reversal is coming because the Bollinger Bands are like balanced. Think about it like a rubber band. If the market gets, or like I don't know, like think about it as like if it's something is too hot, you're going to come back to the middle. Or think about it like this is one side of the road. I always say that the whole entire market is like the highway, right? You have the left side of the road, you have the right side of the road. If a car starts to drift too much on the shoulder, it's going to readjust and come back to the middle. And that's exactly what the Bollinger Bands are doing. So I'm just going to draw it out. Y'all know I love my pencil. I love drawing stuff out. So we can see, for example, let's just start right here. I'm going to start right here where this green line is. So we can see that the market was buying, right? It was going up. We have one candle. Yep, it's like bowling with bumpers. Exactly. That's another good analogy. So we have one candle, 2 candles, 3 candles. We see it was going up. It was going up, right? And then the candles, right? They got close to this resistance. As soon as it got close to this red line, what did it do? We don't see any candle activity above the red line. So that must mean that this red line is where price starts to resist that. And every time it gets close to it, it's going to drop back down. Every time it gets close to the blue line, it's going to push back up. Close to the red line, push back down. Close to the blue line, push back up. Close to the red line. And even if it's surfing the blue line, right? Even if it's surfing, right? It will never go far outside. So if you see that a red candle or even a blue candle, if it's starting to really push up on that top or bottom line, I just want you to take a mental note that a reversal is coming, right? A reversal is coming. So let's go back to the current candle and let's see what's happening, because we're gonna look at the chart and then we're gonna keep revisiting this. So we have our candle, right? We have a blue candle, right? But we see that the candle is under the EMA. We see that it's under our purple dots or SARs, which we'll get to. But we also see that it's getting mighty close to that red line. So although we know that the market does have the potential to continue to push up, it also has a high probability to start to sell as soon as it gets, and this is where you can start to add your lines if you like, because we didn't even get to that yet. You can just add a line right there where that red line is at, right? Because we know that whenever price gets close to that red line, no matter where it's at, it's going to start selling. And again, you can go back into the past. Oh, let me clear this. And again, you can go back into the past just to really confirm if what you're seeing is a valid entry point. So we just put a line there because it's on the red line. So we say, okay, once the market gets to 555, it has the potential to sell. Then you can ask yourself, has it ever done that before? And we got one place before, two places where it's done it before.
Hold up. You falling asleep? Hold up.
All right. So we have one place where it's done this before. We have two places where it's done this before. We have three places where it's done this before. And we have four places. So as long as you can see that the market, any line that you put on your chart or any line that you see a candle is touching, whether it's the Bollinger Bands, whether it's the super trend line, whether it's the EMA, any line that you see the market touching two or more times, right? You know that's a good place for an entry. So that's how the Bollinger Bands act. So we can actually put a horizontal line right there. And we could also put a horizontal line at the bottom, right? Where we see our blue line is. And we would have another zone. We would have 555 for a sell, and we would have 503 for a buy, simply based off of where the Bollinger Bands are in relation to that current candle. So we didn't do anything fancy or crazy. We literally just said, okay, I recognize that the Bollinger Band is an area of resistance. I'm going to put a line on that resistance. You said, okay, I recognize that the bottom Bollinger Band is an area of support. So I'm going to put a Bollinger Band on the support line. But then you just want to make sure that you have all your other confirmations so you can know if you're actually going for a buy or sell, but at least you have your entry points. At least you know that when the market gets there, that's a place to sell, and that when the market gets there, that's a place to buy. And this is on the 5-minute time frame. If you do want an even closer entry point, of course, you can just if you do want a closer entry point, of course, you can just put it on the 1-minute time frame instead, right? You could just put it on the 1-minute time frame so you would know, all right, I can sell at 549 and buy under 531. So it'd be 531 or lower for a buy, 549 or higher for a sell. So yeah, that's what you do. And you could test that out for a 3-minute trade. Not 1 minute, because we see it's still dropping. It is below 531. If we were to get in, right, we're going to get in for 3 minutes. And let's just see what happens. So I took the trade at 528. We know this trade is going to continue to drop, but we also know that we did find a nice area of support. Now, whether it's the strongest area of support, that's fine. But was it an area of support? Yes, it was. The market is always going to do the same thing over and over again, no matter what. So although this is a 3-minute trade, we just going to ride it out and we're going to see what happens. But I'm literally showing you guys how to dissect the indicators one by one so that you understand what you're looking at. So when you go back and put them together, you really increase your chances of clearing, right? So if this makes sense and y'all understand how to use the Bollinger Bands as an indicator, just drop BB in the chat and we're going to move on to the next indicator. Xavier, can you go get my drink off that desk? No, my drink. All right, y'all. So that's how you would use the Bollinger Bands. That is one way to use it. Let's see what happens with this trade. We do have 3 minutes in it. And again, although it wasn't profit, y'all, we don't ever just want to use one indicator. We have to make sure that at least 3 indicators are going in our favor to ensure that the trade is going to be. It's on the desk right there by the charger in your mom's room. All right. So yeah, we got 2 indicators down pat. And then we are going to go back at the end and we're going to put them all together so you can increase your chances of clearing and not decrease. So bet Bollinger Bands. The next indicator we're going to go over, let me just make these dots a little thicker because I know nobody can ever see them. All right. So the next indicator that we're actually going to go over is called the parabolic SAR. And the parabolic SAR are just these dots. And essentially, they're like a broken EMA line. Wait, 1 second, y'all. Oh, thank you. Never mind. It's essentially like a broken EMA line. So it's very similar, right? If you see that the candles are above that purple dot, you know that candles are above the trend. If you see that the candles are below the purple dot, that means that candles are below the trend. Now, the difference between the EMA and the SAR is that the EMA is going to tell you the overall trend because it's the average of 200 candles. If this is the 200 EMA, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 200 EMA. We could change this to 50, so that is the average for the last 50 candles. We could change this to 10, so that's the average for the last 10 candles. We could change it to 5, so that's the average for the last 5 candles. And when we make it smaller, we can obviously see that for the last 5 candles, the market has been down, right? We can obviously see that. But we're going to put it back on 200 so that we have a wider thing. Now, the EMA, again, tells us about whichever number we select. So we got the last 200 candles. So it's a really good average. Out of 200 candles, this is a great place. The parabolic SAR is kind of telling you about the most current candle, right? So it's like, although the trend could be high, right? Although the trend could be below the trend, well, it's actually right here. This is a good example. So we have a red candle below the EMA and below the purple dot. So not only is the market under where it was for the last 200 candles, but it's also currently under where it's been for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 candles as well, right? So the SARs are a little bit more direct and correspondent to the current candle. The EMA is correspondent with the trend. So if we were to look at the current candle, y'all, just based on what we learned so far, is that candle setting up for a buy or for a sell, right? Is it setting up for a buy or for a sell so far? Yep, it's definitely setting up for a sell, but a mental note that you would want to take is that a potential reversal could be happening soon, right? Just because it's getting close to that line. You guys are right about the sell, but just be mindful. Look at this, right? Look at that, y'all. Why did it happen? Because the candle is close to the Bollinger Band, right? If that makes sense, right? If that makes sense, y'all, I really want y'all to understand. Just drop an MS in the chat because the market will never lie. It will never, ever lie to you. So although we still got it dropping right now, it's dropping like it's hot. We got that red candle, right? We got that red volume bar. We can see that our stochastic and our RSI are both facing down. But what happened? The parabolic SAR, right? Look at this, y'all, because this is so cool. I love that this is happening in real time. The parabolic SAR was just up here, right? Giving us the confirmation for the sell. And then what happened? It switched to the bottom, right? So not only did the parabolic SAR switch to the bottom, but the candle is also pushing up on the support line. So yes, we could get in for a sell, but this reversal is happening, right? So we could get in for a sell, but the reversal is happening, right? And this is where, and these are 1 minute trades too. And this is where your horizontal lines come into play, right? Because I always say no matter what strategy you're using, you want to get yourself a horizontal line at the top of that candle so you can know where to sell if need be. and you want to get yourself a horizontal line at the bottom of that candle. And the reason why you're always presetting up both of your entry points is because if you're analyzing your chart correctly, you already know that the market could turn around at any time based on the indicators you're using to analyze. So in this case, I see 510 or lower. In this case, I see 510 or lower for a buy. I see 525 or higher for a sell, but I see more indications for a buy, right? It's 525 or higher for a sell. It's at 524 right now. We will wait for that push up, which we see is coming, right? It's really 520, honestly. 520 for the sell, 510 for the buy. But there we go. We got 525 or higher on the 5 minute. I'm gonna take a 3 minute trade and a 1 minute trade at the same entry. And this thing should actually drop down, y'all. If our analysis was correct, this thing should continue to drop down, right? It should drop all the way down to 515, right? Even go to 510, right? Because that is where our support was. And we should be able to get in for a buy as well once it drops under 510, because we know it's going to push back up based on what's happening with the Bollinger Bands. If y'all feeling me right now? Are y'all feeling me? I need to know. I need to know that y'all feeling me, because it's getting juicy, y'all. It's really getting crazy. Like, it's getting crazy when you understand what you're looking at. So this is crazy, right? I really wish more people was here to get this awesome sauce, but it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So we will be waiting for that 510. Yo, they really missing out on a real one. Like, this one is good. It's a good one. So we just cleared another $150, right? So far in the training, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5, which is amazing, right? There we go. We got our 510 or lower. We know the market is looking for that support. We know it's going to push back up. How long is it going to stay? We don't know, but we did get in for a 1 minute trade, and we can take it on 3 minutes too, just to see what's going to happen, right? Just to see what's going to happen on the 3 and on the 1. But we're looking for those push-ups. We know the market is having, oh, it's a lot of money, y'all. We know the market is having a hard time getting past 509. We know that. We just saw it on the scanner, right? Now, don't get anxious, y'all. Remember, we have a whole 3 minutes in this trade, and we know what's trying to happen. And if you ever find yourself getting anxious, just come back to your scanner and see what's really good. You could say, okay, wow, okay, I did get in for that buy. But it's a 3 minute buy. However, I also see not only is my candle pushing up on my line, so I know it's bound to go up at any moment now. But look at this, y'all, because we didn't even get into how do we even use the stochastic and RSI, because that's really a gem, right? That's really a gem. So we just need the market to be above 508. But we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes for that. That's seeming very likely. Where do we get in down here? Oh, 525 for the sell. We out of there. We clearing that. Now we needed to push above 508, which it will, since that is actually the support zone that we found. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna see what happens. But let's come back over here and let's really get into these last two indicators, okay? Because this is crazy. So when you're looking at these indicators, these two indicators down here are called momentum indicators. And it's as simple as whichever way the line is facing, that's which way the market is going. So if you know you're going for a sell, right? If you're going for a sell, y'all, should the market be going up or down? Let me know. Somebody tell me in the chat. Yeah, it should be facing down. So if you see that the market is going down and your thing is facing down, you have got a really, really, really lovely setup. So let's just look back in the past for 2 seconds to demonstrate what that means, right? So we got a strong red candle, right? We got it below the dot. We got it below the EMA. We got the red volume bar, right? And we got this line facing down. Not only is this line facing down, but so is this line, right? That's a clear indication for a sell. Everything is lining up. Let's look at some more stuff. Let's look at the red candle under the dot with the red volume bar with the line facing down, right? It's always going to tell you the direction of the market, and vice versa. If we were looking for a buy, you would want to see, oh, I got to zoom out a little bit. If you were looking for a buy, you would want to see that, of course, you would see your blue candle. You would see your purple dot under. You would see it above the EMA. Look at that, right? Look at that, y'all. Perfect setup. You would see the blue volume bar, and you would see that your lines are facing up, right? It's as simple as that. That's how you use that indicator. But One thing I want to tell you about this indicator, and the best time to actually get into a trade is once you see the closer the line is to this thin red line. Let me make it a little thicker. And I don't want it to be, it could be dotted, it don't matter. But I'll make it solid so it could look better. All right, y'all. Limit. Okay, there we go. So now we can see a little bit better. The stochastic and the RSI will always be doing the same thing. Let me make this a little thicker too. Yes, perfecto. This looks so much better. 1 second. This is the last one I gotta change, y'all. All right, bet. All right. So when we're using these indicators at the bottom, the best ultimate time to get in is when it's actually crossing up or down the line. And I'm trying to find a good example to show y'all what I mean. When it's crossing up or down that line, you really already know like what's about to happen. Once price crosses above this red line, price is considered overbought, right? If it's overbought, that means that there are too many buyers in the market and that a sell is bound to happen, right? That a sell is bound to happen. And when it happens, it's going to continue to happen until we get that cross up again. So I'm just trying to find a really good place where I can show you a great example of that happening, because it's never going to fail you. It's never going to fail you. All right. Oh, this is so good, right? This is perfect. All right, y'all. So we only going to focus on, let me put my vertical lines, and we only going to focus on the two, between the two green lines. That's what we're going to focus at. Nothing else, nothing else. All right, so if it's not between the two green lines, we're not going to look at it. So we can see that there was a blue candle right here, right? Well, actually, let's see. Let's start from here. So it was selling. It was selling. It was selling. It got close to our bottom line, right? It got close to our bottom line. At the same time that was happening, this was happening, right? We had it going down up here, and we had it going down up here, right? Once price crosses this black line is price. Once price crosses this blue line, it's considered oversold, and it has to buy. Whenever you see this cross up, right, whether it's at the bottom or top, that is going to be like an amazing confirmation that the market is doing what you want it to do. Now let's look at everything together so you guys can see what I mean. So we had the blue candle, we had the purple dot under, we had the blue volume bar. Not only was this line facing up, but it had just come out of this little funky trend, right? And it crossed back up, telling us that a strong uptrend was about to happen, because it's no longer too many sellers in the market. It's now evening out with the buyers. And then we actually saw that happening because it bought until, let me clear this off so it's not too much. It bought up, right, until what happened? Not only did it touch our Bollinger Bands, right? We know once we see that it's about to reverse, it touched the Bollinger Bands. Not only did the SAR come from the bottom, right? It switched to the top, right? Telling us that, all right, we about to get a quick sell in. And then it crossed back down, right? It crossed back down. Like that cross is so major. So I'm actually just going to circle some places where the market crossed on the RSI and stochastic. And I want you guys to just drop a MS if you can see how whenever it crosses or break that overbought and oversold zone, you can see how that's a good entry point. So I'm just going to circle a few, right? So that you guys can correspond the cross ups with the candles that are happening, right? I really want you to see that. So drop an MS if you can correspond the cross ups with the candles that are happening. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So let me clear this off the screen again. Let me just go to the most recent candle, and let's put everything we just learned together, right? To figure out how do we get the cleanest entry using the Liberty scanner based on this information that we just learned. So let's come over here. Let's put this on the 5. All righty, y'all. So I ain't going to say too much But I want y'all to look at this chart and tell me, what do y'all see? Like, what is your analysis? Like, whatever mental notes you're taking, just put them out loud. Like, I see a buy. I see it's above the trend. It's below the trend. Like, everybody just drop your mental notes. And I want y'all to tell me if we're going to be focusing on the buy or the sell based on your analysis. All right. So we got buy. Jackie said buy. Tariana said buy. Margaret said buy. It's oversold. That is a great analysis. Focus on the buy. Close the Bollinger Bands. Exactly, Sean. Blue volume bar, blue candlesticks, blue indicators for the buy. Oversold. Yep. So since we already put our indicators on the chart, somebody tell me, where are we getting in for the buy? What is our entry point for the buy based on the horizontal lines we have on the chart? $4.94 or lower. Yes, exactly, y'all. Exactly. So that was great, y'all. $4.94 or lower would actually be our entry point for the buy. That was perfect. Of course, we could take it down to the 1 minute to see if we could find another entry. Nope, it's looking about the same. Another candle is about to form. Yes. But yeah, perfect, y'all. I think y'all got it. Let me just go to another currency pair really quickly. I'll go to CAD/JPY just so we can see if we can get into actual trade really quick. Or you guys are going to do the analysis and you're going to take the trade if you really want to. I'm not going to tell y'all anything. I'm just going to set it up. All I'm going to do is add 2 lines. You guys are going to do your own analysis. I want you to tell me if and when you get into the trade and what your entry point was. So I got y'all all set up. I did my part. I added my 2 lines. We on CAD/JPY. Y'all let me know if and when y'all get into the trade on CAD/JPY and how that goes for you. I ain't gonna tell y'all why I'm getting in it. I'm not going to tell you. I could just pause share. All right, y'all. So whenever y'all get in, if and when, let me know what y'all entry point is and what you going to do. My trade is already set up. I'm chilling. I am chilling. And in deep profits. All right. So I give you guys like 30 more seconds. I want to know what your entry points is based on this. And I actually want you to take the trade. I really want you to see what happens. If you trust yourself, you trust your analysis. All right, I want y'all to get into the trade and let me know if it's valid. Let me know if it works. All right, Auntie said 807, 811. All right, let's see. I took it at 812 for 3 minutes. Let's see, 810. How long are you guys in? 1 minute or 3 minutes? Oh, 2. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all getting saucy. So I'm in for a 3-minute sell at 812. I'm going to see what happens with that. But do y'all feel better? Do y'all feel better about this now? Right? Do y'all feel better about this? Yes or no? Okay, good. Can everybody just drop one thing that y'all learned that you're going to take into your trading? What's one thing that everybody learned today? Very helpful. EMA is knowledge. Yes, I love the EMA. It's just extra. You got to be able to dissect these things and understand what they mean. Yep, the indicator indicate where the candles go. Yep, look at all the indicators. Yep. Yes, wait until it's overbought, oversold. That is a life-saving tip, y'all. So does anybody have any additional questions? We do have about 2 more minutes before we actually wrap it up. So if you do have a question, just go ahead and drop it in the chat and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. All right, well, I hope you guys have a great night. I will post this in the drive as well. I will post it in the chat as soon as it comes to my email, and then I'll have Shamar upload it to the drive whenever he is stationary. You guys are so welcome. Enjoy the rest of your night.